Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and my name is Siri. In this video, I just want to share something with all of you. It is just that one small change that you can bring to your fluency or your practice to bring out some effective results in your fluency journey. Okay, so I just want to start this video by telling you guys an incident or a story, you can say. So back then when I was in 12th standard or 11th standard, I had one friend where I studied, of course. So she is very good at speaking. She is just amazing at her communication skills. So by looking at her, I would always think, how lucky is she? How lucky is she that she is speaking such nice English? How lucky is she that she is able to communicate so well? So she must be from a English background family. She must be from these high standard schools. So I would always think this. By looking at her, I would take a lot of inspiration, and by looking at her, I would always think that, I'm not lucky enough to speak like her, because she comes from a very high standard school, but I am not from that kind of school, so I am not lucky enough. So this is what I would always think. Now one day I just went up to her and asked her that how did she gain this amount of fluency in her English. So I just asked her about her background, and she told me that she's not from an English speaking background. That shook me, of course. And she told me that she's from a particular school which was not really very famous. It was a normal school, and that surprised me even more. Prior to that, I was thinking that she's from such a high standard school because of which she is actually speaking nice English, and I would always consider her to be lucky because I would always think that she comes from a high standard school. But after talking to her, I realized that no, she is just like me. And I just asked her that how did you gain this fluency, and she just told me how she actually worked on her fluency. And that taught me something, that we just judge people by looking at the output, and we just judge people by telling them that they are just lucky enough to speak the way they are speaking. This is something that I stopped doing from that moment. From that moment, whenever I look at a person who speaks nice English, instead of considering that person to be a lucky person, to speak such nice English, I started to change my perspective into drawing inspiration from that person. Okay, I just want to explain one concept here. So recently I've been reading this book called The Power of Subconscious Mind, which is really nice. So I'm just going to explain this concept with the help of that book. Okay, usually what happens is that when we are supposed to put effort, when we are supposed to work hard, what we generally do is we generally give excuses to our subconscious mind. Now, for example, you have to speak in English. You want to speak in English. You want to speak fluent English. For that, you're supposed to put some effort, right? When you are supposed to put that effort at the moment, you just tell your subconscious mind that I don't have to do this because I am not lucky. I am not from a background which supports me to speak in English. So this is that one excuse you're giving your subconscious mind. Now, you already gave that excuse to your subconscious mind, right? From the next time, whenever you're supposed to speak in English, or whenever you're supposed to practice speaking English, your subconscious mind is of course going to reflect that thought, that why do you have to practice? You don't have to practice, right? So this is how we actually give excuses when we are supposed to put some efforts to gain something. Now, I just want you guys to change your perspective here. Now, when you have good food to eat, when you have good clothes to wear, when you have time to spend, when you have a phone to scroll, when you have a phone to use, then we don't realize how lucky we are. We only realize that we are unlucky when we are supposed to put effort, and we just put that stamp on the other person that they are lucky. That's why they are like that. Why? Because that's easy to do, right? That excuse is so easy to give, right? And I just want to tell you guys through this video that whatever you see, the output is not something that we have to judge about, because we do not know how much effort has gone into they speaking like that. Okay, that's a mistake that I've made with my friend back then, and I've realized that mistake of mine, and from then I changed my perspective into drawing inspiration from people. When you draw inspiration from people, because there, I always believe that there is something that you can learn from every single person on this universe, be it negative or positive, but there is something that we can always learn if you truly want to learn. So overall, what I'm trying to tell you is that if you want to give excuses, you can give excuses. But one point you have to understand over here is that excuses are harming you, not anybody else. Okay? Those are just trying to pull you back. Those are just hammering your growth. Those are not helping you in any way. Okay? And we forget to express gratitude for whatever we have. Have you ever heard about these terms called manifestation, affirmations? These things, they actually work because they have direct relationship with subconscious mind. What you tell your subconscious mind, that's what it reflects. If you consider yourself to be unlucky every time you have to put efforts, that's what it is going to reflect. But if you consider yourself to be a person who would draw from inspiration, people out there, that's what it is going to reflect all the time. When you have to put efforts, when you have to put your efforts, your subconscious mind is going to tell you that you draw inspiration from that person and try to work hard. And on the other hand, if you tell your subconscious mind that it's okay, I don't have to practice because I'm not lucky enough, that's what it is going to reflect you with. And that's what is going to not help you to be fluent in English. Now you could be thinking that this is such a small topic, why is she explaining? Because I believe that speaking English has a lot to do with these things as well. It's not only about listening, writing, speaking and reading. It's also about how you perceive things. It's also about how you consider things. It's also about what you look at in other people while they are speaking in English. Try to draw inspiration from them instead of judging them simply, because we of course cannot judge a book by its cover. We already know that. Okay, try to change this one perspective in your mindset where you have to draw inspiration from people, instead of thinking or degrading yourself all the time that you are not lucky enough and people who are speaking English are lucky enough to speak in English. Try to just bring the small change into your fluency and see how it is actually going to work to make you fluent in English. This is just a small change that you have to bring in your mindset, because your mindset plays a very important role. Your mindset is important to make yourself fluent in English, right? What you think here, that's what is going to reflect. So feed your mind with all the positive thoughts, feed your mind with inspiration, feed your mind with motivation, feed your mind with practice. Okay, always trying to give excuses, always trying to degrade yourself is not good in any aspect. Do not ever try to do that, because giving excuses is the easiest thing to do, right? It is of course the easiest thing to do, but why can't we just put effort instead of giving excuses all the time? Can't we just put efforts instead of doing that? We can do that. And you know what, sometimes we know the process to do it, we know how to be fluent in English, we know what we are supposed to do, but we feel like giving excuses, which is of course a bad thing that we are doing. Don't do that. Okay, so overall I just want to tell you that do not give excuses, do not degrade yourself, and never judge someone by just looking at the output, because we never know what has gone into it, right? So that is it for the video, guys. I just hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please give it a like and share it with your friends, and do let me know your opinion in the comment section. I would love to read your comments, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I will see you guys very soon. Till then, you take care. I'll see you soon.